If you have a job in 2025, just keep it. Please just keep it, because there's nothing out here for the rest of us.
So guys, today I got the worst news that you could possibly get in this economy. As of 3 p.m. today, I am now unemployed.
The UK job report just dropped, and unemployment hit 4.7% in May. But let's look deeper into these clean government numbers.
According to this article, the UK job market is at its weakest and it's still sliding. The unemployment rate has basically risen to 4.7%, which is its highest in the last 4 years.
The system is exploited, the pensions are shrinking and the benefits are minuscule. We are blamed and named as the lazy generation, snowflakes who don't want to graft. But is it wrong to recognise an unfair system and not want to participate in that?
Be grateful if you got a 9 to 5. I'm telling you, be grateful if you've got a job. No matter what the job is, be grateful you're earning some type of income, because it's hard out here. Unemployment in the UK has reached an all-time high.
Message to the young people in the UK. I'm sure you can relate that you've seen all over the media that there's a pandemic of 16 to 24-year-olds, which is the highest actual age group to be unemployed in the UK.
State of the UK job market is crazy. In general, finding a job now is one of the worst things. I'm desperately looking for any job I can get to give me any type of money.
Can we just talk about how fucking difficult it is to get a job in this blood clot country? I'm not happy and I'm sick and tired of this fucking country.
I need a job so bad. I'm actually willing to stand in somebody's garden and scare away the crows.
Let's talk about unemployment in the UK, because right now my job is a professional job seeker. I wake up thinking today's a new day, I'm going to conquer the job market, and the only thing I'm conquering is my will to live.
By endless amounts of LinkedIn scrolling.
My life, the UK job market is cooked.
Welcome back to Broken Britain, where work is harder to find than ever, and hope is running on empty. Unemployment is rising. The job market is cooked. You send out 100 CVs, and what do you get? Ghosted. Or worse, dragged through endless interviews, only to be told they went with another candidate for a role that probably never even existed. Meanwhile, wages are stagnant, rent is sky high, and every bill is climbing. And when you finally do land a job, it's insecure, underpaid, and barely enough to survive. This isn't just bad luck. This is a broken system designed to keep people desperate and cheap. Today on Brit Rants, we're tearing into the collapse of the UK job market. Because if you've ever felt trapped, ignored, or used in this economy, you're not alone.
Can we just talk about how fucking difficult it is to get a job in this blood clot country? I'm not happy and I'm sick and tired of this fucking country. There are no jobs available for anybody in this fucking country, and every time I do a job application, we're really sorry that you haven't got the experience. How the fuck am I meant to get the experience if you're not hiring anyone anywhere? Make that make flipping sense. I have been job searching since June 2023 when I left year 11. How the fuck do you expect me to get experience if I don't have a job? Because I can't get anything anywhere. Because you lot keep saying we want people. Then you don't accept anyone that wants a fucking job. Make it make sense. Sorry, I look like a cracker shouting on the street, but someone had to say it, and I'm going to say it again. This country and the flipping job system in this blood clot country called England is shit. You lot don't want to accept anyone for jobs and then complain that we're all unemployed and lazy. Well, what do you expect? What do you fucking expect? Keir Starmer, Boris Johnson, Rishi flipping Sunak, you dumb bitch. How do you expect anyone to have any experience but you don't want to accept the job? It doesn't make any flipping sense up in the membrane. England, fix it, because I'm sick and tired of being unemployed. Give me money.
Be grateful if you got a 9 to 5. I'm telling you, be grateful if you've got a job. No matter what the job is, be grateful you're earning some type of income, because it's hard out here. Unemployment in the UK has reached an all-time high. New figures from the Office of National Statistics show that unemployment has risen from 4.6%, the highest rate from July 2001, meaning that 1.6 million people are out of work. And it could be for many reasons, from wanting 10 years work experience, applying for 70 plus odd jobs and not getting a phone call back, having more at the end of the month on universal credit than your actual salary, AI, illegal immigrants, whatever the case may be. All I'm saying is be grateful if you actually have a job today, because as you can see, people are really struggling. And by the looks of it, it's only going to get worse.
So many of us are not working jobs. Can you blame us? If the amount of young people currently not working was the population of a UK city, it would be the third largest city in the country. The minimum wage has gone up fractionally. It would take a cleaner at a London bank 300 years to earn what their boss earns in 1 year. The system is exploitive, the pensions are shrinking and the benefits are minuscule. We are blamed and named as the lazy generation, snowflakes who don't want to graft. But is it wrong to recognise an unfair system and not want to participate in that? Is anyone motivated to do something where they don't feel they're getting just reward? I don't think that makes us the laziest. I think it might make us the ones to change it, if we bother to get educated and unglued from our phones. Thank you, keep it human.
I need a job so bad. I'm actually willing to stand in somebody's garden and scare away the crows. Like, I'm willing to stand on a farm all day and run after birds. Honestly, get me back in the kitchen where women belong. I can't deal with this anymore.
And telling me my life isn't hard when you already have a job, as in you already have a 9 to 5 to clock into, is wild. Do you know how tough it is to be ambitious and jobless? Do you know how hard it is? Especially when these people, they were suffering with you, then all of a sudden they get a 9 to 5, they start acting like they don't know what's going on outside in the real world, trying to make it seem like jobs are easy to get. Get out of my face.
Message to the young people in the UK. I'm sure you can relate that you've seen all over the media that there's a pandemic of 16 to 24-year-olds, which is the highest actual age group to be unemployed in the UK. To be labelled unemployed essentially is that you want to work but you can't find a job. And then the other term which is used at the moment is economically inactive. These people usually cannot work due to sickness. What blows my mind away is that, especially the number, which is around 950,000 people in the UK, but there is numerous jobs out there. I understand if you've not got the experience, but I'm talking about your warehouse, your retail jobs. Sometimes I think we have to just swallow our pride and just work as, yes, it's demanding physically, but mentally you'll feel a lot better and you're contributing to society. There was this guy called Neil actually on the BBC News. He's 22-year-old. He said that it's a shame that so many people that he knows are losing their potential due to the fact that they're out there partying, taking drugs and essentially craving that instant gratification, doing those degenerate activities. And he said he was a victim of that himself, but he's come out of that and now we can see the wider picture. All right, guys, I just wanted to share that message with you guys, and I want to, if you can drop a message in the comment just regarding this topic, it will be beneficial, as I'm actually interested to see what your guys' thoughts and opinions are about this topic. All right, guys, have a good rest of your day. See you in the next one.
This tweet says, I just want an internship, man. And the question is, do you receive free school meals in secondary school? If no, why? And this is another example of how bad employers are when it comes to filtering out candidates. They're asking questions like this to pin you as a profile of someone so they can tick a lot of boxes. Rather than hiring based on skills and experiences, they're doing things like this to try and tick a box when it comes to social responsibility. And they're having to put through students loads and loads of questions just to eventually get rejected at interviews or not even get an interview in the first place. And it just goes to show how flawed the UK job market is and the entire recruitment system is. Because it makes it impossible for young people to get hired and get into a role because there's questions like this floating around in interview processes. I think what needs to change is skills and experience-based recruitment. Keep it really, really simple. Do you have the experience and the skills to do this job? Yes or no? They should not be asking questions like this or about your race or your sexuality. They should just keep it down to who is good for the job. Now, this might be controversial, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, but I think this is appalling.
The UK job market is so cooked right now. I'm not even talking about the graduate market, I'm talking about the entry-level market. So that's for people without actually any degrees or qualifications. There are little to none roles available for entry-level people in any sector. Let's take retail for example. The only roles that are literally available would be assistant manager roles and managerial roles. And for those roles, you'd require years of experience on your CV to be able to actually get those roles. And for those looking for an entry-level role, won't have that amount of experience on their CV at all. And if you happen to find an entry-level role like a retail assistant, you literally get rejected straight away, or you never get a reply, or you get an interview and then you never get a response after that. I've been trying to find a part-time job for God knows how long so I can leave the current job I'm working at so I have a bit more time to myself, but there's literally no jobs available, and the ones that I apply to I literally never get a response to. For those asking, I currently work at a bank in customer service. It's a 9-to-5 job and I work 4 days a week. But yeah, let me know in the comments below of what you think of the UK job market right now.
Yo people, I can't lie, the job market is so shit, yeah. Tell me how. I graduated with a first class degree in accounting and finance. I was thinking, yeah, I might get a graduate scheme straight away. But here's my boy with the 2-1, he got a job before me. No, I can't let uni was a myth.
My life, the UK job market is cooked. How can I send an apply at 4:33 right there, 33 right there, when no one is at their jobs? Everyone is going home, having some time off. And then at 17:11, I get, thank you for the application, but you weren't successful. I think I have to be either the worst candidate in their life that they saw, or, I don't know, this has to be some record timing. I'm going to put this on a speed run for having, like, the fastest time just denied from a fucking job. But, holy shit, I just want to have a job. And I get record time speed run denied. Like, I guess I'll just have to stay unemployed and play Overwatch.
If you have a job in 2025, just keep it. Please just keep it, because there's nothing out here for the rest of us. The job market in the UK right now is just so bad. So if you have a job, just literally hold on to it very, very tightly. I don't even care if you hate your job, or if your boss hates you, or if you hate your boss. Literally just keep that job. Like, imagine just being unemployed. This is my job application history, and I'm literally still applying.
The state of the UK job market is crazy. I went for another job interview the other day. I have a job already, but I need more hours, I need more money pretty much. So I went to a job interview and it was for a team leader Acosta. When you think of team leader, you think you'll get paid an okay amount, you'll have to do more stuff, just run the shop and everything if there's not a store manager there. I went to the interview, I asked them, oh, what's the rate of pay? They said 10 pence above minimum wage. 10 pence. The baristas get paid minimum wage. So to the extra duty of running the shop, setting up the till, closing the till, counting the money, any random guests come in, so say a shop ambassador or anyone from corporate or stuff like that come in, you have to deal with it. You have to deal with all the headaches, you have to control the staff, you have to sort the calendar for 10 pence an hour. Like, one of the only jobs that I can find that pays an okay amount, they all require like 10 years experience in a given field, or even like 5 years experience and a uni degree. For some jobs that don't require it, even social media marketing, they require you to have a PhD in social media marketing. But say you've run a successful account for ages, they wouldn't care about that. I'm not saying this account's very successful, and it's not, but still, they want you to go to university so you can learn how to post things on social media. Like, not even just that, just In general, finding a job now is one of the worst things. I'm desperately looking for any job I can get to give me any type of money. TikTok doesn't pay. The entire total I've had TikTok, I've made £2.88. To be fair, that'll be updating tomorrow, but that's only going to be an extra couple pence because I barely posted last month. My job at the minute pays monthly and it's quite shit, honestly. The hours, not the best. So, I need a new job. I'm looking for them, but there's nothing around me. And I've applied for over 200 jobs in the last 4 months. 200. I've had 4 interviews out of 200 jobs. And only about 20 of them have actually said anything back saying no. The housing market's... No, the job market's crazy. The housing market's also bad, but... I don't know. What can we do? Does anyone know any jobs of where you can actually climb the ladder starting from nothing anymore? Because I can't think of any.
So I've just found the unemployment rate in the UK right now, and it's at 4.44, which, as you can see, it's been going up since 2022, and we're almost at the exact same levels as COVID. As you can see here, in 2020, between October and December, the unemployment rate was 5.3, and it's 4.44 now. And by the looks of things, it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon either. Since 2022, it's literally just been going up and up and up. Now, a lot of people will say it's because of all the AI and all the technology taking over all the jobs, but I think it's got a lot to do with our government at the moment. They're basically forcing businesses to be extremely careful with who they pick and who they choose to employ. And this isn't just affecting the businesses, it's affecting the employees who want to join these companies. I mean, if you've got any stories, leave them in the comments below, but I know that businesses are putting people through like 4-stage interviews for no reason just to employ someone. It's just shocking considering this is 5 years of progress since COVID here and the employment rate has hardly changed. What do you think we need to fix all this? Let me know in the comments and drop me a follow while you're here.
The UK job report just dropped and unemployment hit 4.7% in May. But let's look deeper into these clean government numbers. Between May 2024 and May 2025, we lost 135,000 payroll jobs. Real people and real family affected. But watch how these numbers get dressed up by the media. They call it economic adjustment. Sounds nicer than what it is in actuality. Here are some big red flags. Number 1, job vacancies crashed 15% across almost every sector. 2, the public sector suddenly stopped hiring after years of growth. 3, experts are predicting we'll hit 5.3% unemployment by 2026. If you're old enough to remember 2028 and how dramatic front page collapse it was, this one feels different. It's a slow bleed that's easier to hide behind technical language and monthly revisions.
The thing I've been most worried about happening has just happened to the UK economy. And yeah, you actually probably should be quite worried now. Here's the monthly change in payroll employment. This is massive. That's 109,000 jobs lost for April. The orange line on that chart is where Labour came in, and the red line is a 3-month moving average. So you can see that since Labour's come in, it's been basically down only. Now, people are going to say that the higher numbers here were in a downward trajectory as well. This is because we were coming out of the pandemic, so you have something called a base effect, which basically means that when you're coming from a lower base, it looks like a higher increase as you return back to normal. Why is this happening? Well, Labour increased employers' national insurance, which meant that it costs way, way more to hire someone. So if you impose all of these costs on businesses, what are they going to do? Well, they're not going to hire as many people, are they? It's literal idiocy and economic illiteracy from the party.
According to this article, the UK job market is at its weakest and it's still sliding. The unemployment rate has basically risen to 4.7%, which is its highest in the last 4 years. And if you're wondering, what does this all mean for me as a job seeker, it essentially means this. If you've been struggling to get a job, to get a response from employers, you're wondering why nobody comes back to you when you send out your CV, your application, it is because of all of these things that are covered in this article. We've also been told that the number of job vacancies have also been declining. So it's not really a good time. So as much as we can say, tailor your CV, make sure you're putting in more applications, make sure you're really preparing for your job interviews, it is a very, very difficult time for job seekers right now. And the reason that the number of vacancies have been falling is because employers are also struggling. This guy, Peter Kinsella, has been saying that he has become more cautious when hiring staff. The reasons? He's mentioned a lot of stuff in the article, but a lot of it is the national insurance contributions. As you can see here, it's really impacted their recruitment processes. Long and short is it has become more expensive for businesses to hire new staff. Let me know what your thoughts are. This is really interesting of a conversation, not just for businesses, but of course for all of us looking for new jobs. Good luck, everyone. It's a tough time out there.
I feel like this needs to be said. I don't care what I look like, you're not getting Beyonce at 7 in the morning. Let's talk about unemployment in the UK, because right now my job is a professional job seeker. I wake up thinking today's a new day, I'm going to conquer the job market, and the only thing I'm conquering is my will to live by endless amounts of LinkedIn scrolling. I think it's already got like arthritis already, like the amount of scrolling that I've been doing. That are saying you've got to have like 5 years experience, this year's experience. You need to be fluent in the language from Mordor or something. Like you can get me started on them cover letters either. It's literally like I'm writing these cover letters and it's just to say like, you know, I'm highly enthusiastic, target driven. It's like I might as well start my own novel of 50 Shades of Nonsense. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the way that the job market is moving at the moment, it's like my brain cells have migrated back to Africa. I mean, whilst being unemployed, I've perfected my cookie making skills, staring at my bank balance. It's like the job market is rife at the moment. How are they expecting me to pay for my food? With crayons? Sure, my landlord thinks that my Netflix binging is a full-time career. I'm ready. Like my CV is ready and my spirit is also intact as well. But yeah, I'm just on the way to the gym. I need to do something productive before I start talking to the pigeons in the park.
This video is for all job seekers. How the fuck are you doing it? With employment services, you know the ones I'm talking about, there is such an overemphasis on practical skills, how to write a CV, how to do an interview, how to look for a job. And nobody is asking, do you feel confident enough to apply? Are you coping with being rejected? Are you able to understand and communicate your skills? It's like asking somebody to swim the channel and they can't fucking swim. I want to see a massive shift. Coaching, that is what everybody needs. What I'm trying to offer on this program. But people are more than just, did you do a job search today? Did you get a job this week? And actually start focusing on transformation that can happen in a variety of ways.
So bad. I actually can't believe how many people have actually responded to that video of me talking about unemployment and how, like, you know, a lot of people are unemployed right now. And I just thought, let me just have a little Google and see what the Google is saying about who is the most unemployed and the rate of unemployment in the UK right now. And what do you know? It says blacks were the most likely to be jobless. Why the fuck do you think that is? Why the fuck do you think that is? And the majority of the age groups that are unemployed are 16 to 24 at 12.7%. And how from the start of the year, it was 4.2 and it's increased to 4.3. And it's the highest since 1984. Like, guys, we are living in very trying times. Let's be guided.
So guys, today I got the worst news that you could possibly get in this economy. As of 3 p.m. today, I am now unemployed. There's just, I don't know. We were brought on to unscheduled 3 p.m. call today that was put in our diaries 20 minutes before. The owner of the company, the chief executive officer, informed us that as of this evening the company was going to cease trading and that we were out of a job. Than me, there are people with mortgages, multiple car payments, kids, so many things that make this much worse for them than it is for me, but I can't help but feel sad. Like, I'm sad, I'm disappointed, I'm feeling so many emotions right now, I don't even know where to start. I signed a lease for a flat in Belfast in July, and when I got paid after this 3 p.m. call, they gave us 3 weeks pay rather than a month. They don't have the funds to secure holiday pay, they don't have the fund to give notice payouts in lieu, they don't have the funds to make any form of redundancy payment whatsoever apart from the wages from the 1st of September to today, and that is it. There was no notice, there was no forewarning, there was nothing. All of these things of course can be claimed back, but like, what do I do right now? to bring an entire company onto a call and announce to them within 15 minutes that their jobs are gone, and not to come into the office the next again day, that you're not getting your full wage, that you're not getting your holiday pay, that you're not getting a redundancy payout. Like, what do you do? I don't even know how to feel right now. Yeah, so I don't really know why I'm even making this TikTok, other than I just wanted to vent, and just to say that if anybody else is in a similar position, or has been in a similar position, or has been in this position for a long time now, and either also needs to vent, has any advice for me, yeah.
Unemployment is high, but are you shocked? Britain's unemployment rate has now risen to 4.1%, and that's the highest it's been since July 2021. When the autumn budget came through and it meant that national insurance would get more expensive for companies, the first thing I said to people is make sure your emergency fund is robust, because they're going to start firing people. Let's be honest, we've already seen a fall in job vacancies. I know so many people going through redundancies who are ridiculously talented and experienced and skilled. And some job vacancies, it seems like they are online, but they're not really hiring. But what I will remind you to do is that every single person needs an emergency fund, no matter how much money you make. With how things are going, yes, it's important to diversify your income. Back in the day, when redundancies were for people who worked somewhere for a minimum of 15 years, it was fine to not diversify your income, but now it's a must. And remember, we can't single-handedly control the economy, but we can control how prepared we are. Stay on top of news. Of course, I post about this, so feel free to follow me if you don't already. But there is no time to be ignorant right now in the UK. You need to stay clued up so that you can stay prepared for whatever's coming. At all times, protect yourself, protect your money.
Look, I'm sorry for bringing you bad news all the time, but the UK has had another negative data point. If you've been out of a job for a while, this is probably the reason. The UK has pretty much had 8 months straight of negative payrolls data. And unemployment has gone above expectations to 4.7%. Expected was 4.6%. I see on LinkedIn at the moment people saying they've been out of a job for literally months. Well, the government's set up for employers not to be hiring. Employers' national insurance contributions has been the biggest component of this, in my view. You can see the acceleration since April when it was introduced. This increase has increased the burden of cost for employers to hire people on PAYE. Now, if you run a comparison of the United States payrolls, the last time they had a negative print was December 2020. That's nearly 5 years ago. And this is while their growth has been pretty good over that period. Actually, it's been very, very good over that period. And then there's us, with all the other problems associated with the UK at the moment. There is very, very little thing to be positive about at the moment with this country. And yeah, the FTSE's at all-time highs. However, this is because 80% of FTSE sales are done abroad. It's got zero reflection on the UK. AstraZeneca is the largest component in the FTSE at about $250 billion market cap. And they're looking to move to the US as well. And remember, this is with the backdrop of taxes probably having to go up in the autumn budget too. So good luck, everybody. It's going to be really fucking shit.
Jobs are vanishing, wages are stalling, and the youth of today are paying the price. Unemployment is rising again in the UK, my friends. Yet we were told the economy was recovering. Now, many of you know the job market in the UK is a mess right now. Unemployment is seeing 4.8%, which is the highest since 2001. And just this month alone, sadly, 109,000 people lost their jobs. Now, ONS data has recently showed that there was a big rise in people from 16 to 24 who are finding themselves unemployed. And these are scary images to witness. Now, wage growth is supposedly 5.2% on average. And although we're told inflation is 3.5%, we know it's much higher in real terms. And FYI, this is redundancies right here. Now, another scary number is 1 million young people from 16 to 24 are classified as NEET, which is essentially not in education, employment, or training. Those, my friends, that's a generation losing momentum. It's the highest level we've seen in a decade. And I think the real tragedy here is many people are working just to survive, as the cost of a basic standard of living is getting higher and higher. Throwing unemployment, lack of opportunities, and we have a real pandemic on our hands, and a worrying outlook for the younger generation.
Please ignore how awful I look, but I just want to come on here and just say how hard it is at the minute to find a job. I, no joke, have applied for every single job on Indeed. Like, I mean, not every single job, but like all the jobs that I want to do, as well as LinkedIn. and other websites, and nothing is coming through. All I'm getting is emails, but emails that I've applied, nothing coming back. I don't know if it's my CV, I don't know if it's like my experience, my education, my skills, I don't know, like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's really stressful. I'm on universal credit, so that's good, and I have got a work coach, which is helping. I had a job interview for that the other day. I didn't get it, but like I'm on the reserve list. I don't know. Oh, I'm rambling on, but I wanted to say that like if you're also looking for a job at the minute, then we're in the same boat. And I know it's so hard to find one. I literally have no idea what I'm doing. It's awful.
Okay, so I've never posted on here, but I've been going through a really hard time, and I feel like I'm kind of driving myself crazy, and I can't be the only one feeling this way. But I was laid off about 2 months ago, and the job search has been incredibly difficult. And I've been laid off before, and I've kind of gone through this season of life, and it's always shitty. It always sucks. Whether it be because you loved your job and you're upset that you got laid off, or even if you didn't really like it, but now you don't have a job and you're trying to find means of finding fulfillment and a paycheck and getting back to whatever your normal life kind of looks like, is really hard. And I think for me, I'm getting really frustrated in getting interviews and getting really excited and unfortunately not getting the job, or finally breaking through and getting a call with a recruiter and being ghosted by them a week later. And it's just really difficult. And then I think even when you scroll on LinkedIn and you see all these other people and all these other companies that you would love to work for kind of going through the same process of laying off employees is really intimidating and hard. And you know, when you talk to people about it, everyone has really great advice in that when one door closes, another door opens. Everything happens for a reason. And I believe all of that is true, but I think I'm trying to create space for myself and maybe other people who feel this way of like, no, this shit sucks. This is really hard. I want to get back to feeling like myself. I love what I do and I love working, and I want to have my routine again. I want to go to an office. I want to shoot the shit with people. I want to challenge my brain, and, you know, contribute and feel proud of my career and kind of what I've established and continue doing that. And so kind of being stuck at home is really hard. So yeah, I don't really know what the point of this is, other than maybe I'll find people who are unfortunately going through something similar, who want to bitch about it or cry about it, because I've cried about it, or maybe just kind of like want to network. I think sometimes talking about this stuff on social media can feel weird because, of course, there are so many different issues going on in the world right now. But at the same time, like, this does really suck too. So yeah, if this somehow came across your desk, let a girl know, and we can commiserate together.
Alright, if you follow me, you know that I'm looking for a job right now because I stopped dancing, okay? Okay, I was a stripper if you don't know me. And I'm looking at the job thing on like what I used to do before, what I can do, etc. So for example, I'm looking at like personal assistant, executive assistant and all that. They're a piss taker. They're a piss taker for 25 to 30k a year. What is that? Not even 2,000 a month, right? They ask for so much. I'm getting stressed just by checking the job thing. I'm not even at the job, but I'm stressed already, and like I'm gonna burn out just by reading this. Like, so for 25 and 30k a year, you ask me all those things. What do they want? Taking minutes, reviewing and responding to emails, diary management, arranging meeting, okay, whatever, event organization, coordination, errands. Listen to this. Personal attributes and behavior, discretion and trustworthiness. Can't even say that word. The post holder will often be a party of confidential information. All right. Flexibility and adaptability. I don't like that. That's mean, bitch, you're gonna work extra hours and not gonna get paid for it. Good oral and written communication skills. Okay, that makes sense. Organization skills. Okay. The ability to be proactive and take the initiative. For 25k, I don't need to take any initiative. Pay me more and I'll take some. Working hours will be Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. at our head office, and some flexibility with working hours is essential, as overtime will be required occasionally. What is that? 4 days out of 5? Is that what you call occasion? Sorry, Karen, but I am not working overtime for 25k to 30k. But that's not even 2,000 a month. That you can't live like that in London. So no, you want me to work overtime? You pay me. You pay my rent. You pay my transport. Whatever you want. But no. Those companies in London are so delusional. I've seen like nanny's job that get paid more. No joke. I'd rather deal with kids than with big kids, aka CEO and that. Like, seriously, for 25k a month, you want me to do all this and be stressed and have anxiety and that? No thanks.
Unemployment increasing. If you've got a job, hold on to it. Because right now, many people out there are losing their jobs. Unemployment has increased in the UK in the last 4 months by 76,000 workers. It's going against what they're kind of telling us, that we're a strong economy, because companies now are getting rid of people. They're getting rid of people because they're finding that, with the new labour laws coming in and the new increases in national insurance payments and the minimum wage increasing, they're realising that they don't have the profits that they predicted that they would have, and they're already making the cuts in preparation for bad economic statistics coming out. It's not just the UK, it's the whole of Europe. 2 countries which stand out as going against that trend are only Italy and Holland. I mean, Italy has had a steady increase in employment, going from a high, I think, of around 11% down to 5% unemployment. And Holland is statistically always a very good economy, and it just basically stays around the same level, unemployment that is. So if you've got a job and you're in the UK, you're going to start noticing that more and more people are losing their jobs, and you're going to fear for your own job. So get prepared now. Start saving your money, putting away what you can, and be prepared to cut your costs, which basically will only exasperate the economic situation we're in. Obviously, if you're self-employed like me, you've always been screwed. There's no help for us, really. But if you've got a job and you think you're about to lose it, start looking for another one now. But be prepared. The job market itself is extremely difficult right now, and many, many people can't even find another one. A lot of this is anecdotal evidence. Some of it is statistical. But if you start looking at what's happening on LinkedIn, there's like an annihilation of what we thought was going to be a secure future for those in work. People are losing their jobs, especially in the UK.
Can we just talk about the job market in this country for a second? Because I lost my job last week and I have been obsessively looking for a job. That's the thing about me. Once I want something, I can't let it go, and I want a job. And when I say obsessively, I mean to my own detriment, to the point where I drive myself insane. I'll be updating Indeed every 15 minutes, checking if someone's posted a job in the last 15 minutes. It's insane. There's nothing out there. I don't know if it's because I live in a small town. But I can drive, I can commute within reason. That's not a problem. But there's nothing. Why aren't people employing? Why are there no jobs out there? And why, when you do apply for a job, do people just ignore you and never ever get back to you? It's rude. Never used to be that way. But yeah, it's funny because I'm one of these people that's like, I really, really need alone time. I can't stand being sociable all the time. It pushes me over the edge. But also the opposite is true. I cannot spend too much time alone being bored. Oh my god, how do people be unemployed and be okay with it? Because I'm going to have a breakdown if I don't find something, some kind of job, some kind of work to do. Preferably I want to do online training, personal training. I would happily work in a gym too, but thanks to me losing my job, I can't actually afford rent for a gym right now, so I would be essentially starting my entire business from scratch on the gym floor, and I'm just not in a position to do that. So yeah, I feel like online training, if anyone wants any personal training, online training, send me a message, because I am at a loss right now. I mean, I'm happy to go work in Tesco's in the meantime, you know? I'm happy to go and do some cleaning or something, but there's nothing. And when you do find something, they never ever get back to you. But yeah, in the moments I'm actually able to pry myself away from my phone and Indeed, because I have a serious problem with Indeed. I cannot stop looking at it. But yeah, it gets to a point where it's not good for my mental health, checking it 5,000 times a day. So I'm trying to meditate and read Joe Dispenza, because at this point in time, I honestly feel like the only way that I'm going to get a job is if I manifest it, because the normal logical route to finding a job is just not working for me.
£26,250 was a job ad I just saw for a graphic designer on 42 hours a week. What? 42 hours a week for £26,000? I mean, that is not my job role, and I'm not in that industry, so I don't know why I care. But it was on LinkedIn. It was like this amazing opportunity, like it's a really fun role, all these perks. How about the perks is you pay them properly? £26,000 for a qualified, they wanted a degree, a qualified graphic designer. What's going on with the job market? It was in Kent, I think, as well, so it's not like it's in an area of the country where maybe like wages aren't as high. I kind of want to find it again, see if anyone's commented to be like, is your salary okay?
I am stressed. Because of how the job market is for international students that requires a sponsorship, I'm currently stressed out because, number one, I've applied to, I would say now 200, reaching to 300 jobs, secured 2 interviews out of them, heard nothing back from the others. I'm currently finishing up my master's degree, and I'm currently doing my thesis. Number 3, if I don't get a job by the end of this month, I will be kicked out of this house. How's everyone doing?
And here's the cold, hard truth. Britain's job market isn't just struggling, it's collapsing. Official stats say unemployment is climbing back over 4.5%, but anyone out there applying for jobs knows it feels far worse. Youth unemployment? That's over 11%, which means 1 in 10 young people can't even get their first foot on the ladder. And even when you find work, most of it is insecure, underpaid, or part-time. Jobs that don't pay the bills, don't pay the rent, and don't give you a future. Meanwhile, the government keeps boasting about record employment. But what they don't tell you is that those numbers are padded with people stuck in gig work, 0 hours contracts, and fake self-employment. That's not a career. That's survival mode. And where is all this leading? To a Britain where millions are sending out endless CVs, being ghosted by companies, dragged through 5 to 6 interview stages for minimum wage jobs, and told they should be grateful just to work. To a Britain where more than half of workers say they're living paycheck to paycheck with nothing left over. To a Britain where the so-called labour market isn't about giving people dignity, it's about wringing every last drop out of desperate workers. Let's be clear. This isn't a shortage of talent. This isn't laziness. This isn't people not wanting to work. This is systemic. Jobs are being offshored, automated, and undercut. Wages are being frozen while inflation eats everything. And the people in power, they don't care, because their careers are safe. So what's the resolution? End exploitation. Ban unpaid internships, fake job postings, and endless interview cycles designed to waste time. Real wages, real work. A job should pay enough to live, not just survive. Invest in the future. Stop cutting education, training, and industries that could actually provide skilled jobs. Respect for workers. No more ghosting, no more experience required for entry-level jobs, no more false promises. Because right now, Britain doesn't have a functioning job market. It has a rigged system where ordinary people are set up to fail. If you're tired of working hard just to get nothing, if you're sick of being ghosted, underpaid, and ignored, then you're not alone. Britain's job market is broken, but together we can call it out for what it is. This is Brit Rants. Hit subscribe if you're done being lied to, and let's blow the lid off this scam they call opportunity.